All right, you guys, well, let's choose a comfortable seated position or laying down, your choice, whatever feels good to have a little morning meditation. So if you prefer to stay seated, you can. For me, my back always just gets a little tired seated, no matter how much I try to do my posture. So I'm going to come to the reclined position. Just get comfortable in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to lengthen through the back body a little bit. And if you're seated, just take a moment to notice your posture and make sure however you are is comfortable. So maybe lift up your seat just slightly with a cushion or whatever you need to do. But let's just begin our practice by noticing our breath. Just immediately bringing our attention to our breath. Notice it moving in and out of the body. See if we can begin to deepen it. And let it go. Just continue that pace. I found myself yesterday, just mind was bouncing from so many different things that I needed to get done. And I found myself just not being mindful, little things that I just glossed over that are normal that I would do, just completely forgetting, like we all do. And just when you find yourself at that point, this breath is just such a great place to bring yourself back to. And just notice it. Don't think about anything else. Just watch the breath. Don't worry about what has happened or what is yet to come. This breath meditation is something we can do at any part of our day to just quiet the mind and quiet the nervous system, quiet the whole body. So just notice it, deepen the breath, feel it really move into the belly, into the chest. Pause at the top of the inhalation just a bit, just a second, not even, and just really slowly. Breath moves out the nose, lips remain sealed. Kind of begin to create that sound at the back of the throat, kind of a ha sound. Let everything else go but this breath. Just notice the breath right now. We have nowhere else to be. Just honoring this time and just letting the mind really be here now. Take a breath through the nose. This exhalation, let's open the mouth. A couple more times, just like that. Breath through the nose. Open the mouth. One more time, through the nose. Let it go, and then just return to a normal breath. If you're seated, just begin to come to a reclined position. Join everybody on the mat. And let's reach our legs out if they aren't already. Begin to lengthen through the body. Just take a full body stretch. Feel alive. Begin to wake up the body. Stretch through the fingers, roll through the wrists, roll the ankles, the fingers, move it all around. Anything that feels good, just begin to get going. And bring the arms back by the sides of the body. Just take a breath just right here. Just again, just notice where you're at. Notice the breath. Begin to feel that body energize. Let's place the soles of the feet on the earth. Just begin gently sway those knees from side to side. No PD. Side to side with the knees. And then pause. Walk the feet apart a little bit. Walk them apart and gently back and forth. Back and forth. And then just let the knees fall over to the right and just hang out there for a minute. Just kind of like gravity do its work. Envision both of the hips just still kind of melting into the earth. You should be able to feel a nice stretch coming through that left hip and through the left quadricep. And then inhale, knees back up through center. Exhale, let them both go over towards the left. Hips just grounded on the earth. Feel that nice stretch coming through the left hip, through the left quadricep. Just breathe. And the knees back up through center. Walk the feet together and then let the knees just fall out. Just come into Supta Baddha Konasana for a moment. Now, if this is just really not comfortable, there's two things you can do. You can either put a bolster on either side of the knees or a pillow or block, which feels great. I feel like this is just not working. Walk the feet apart and bring the knees together. Let that be your option. So just stay here for like 3 breaths. We're not going to be here for very long. Just 3 nourishing breaths. Feel that breath move into the belly, into the heart. One more breath. One more nice big breath. Then go ahead, guide the knees together. Kind of walk the feet apart a little bit. Bend those knees, pull them in towards the chest. Just give a nice little rock back and forth. Just a nice rock back and forth on the low back. A little massage. Go ahead, just lift the feet up to the sky. Just pedal both feet out a little bit. Just pedal it out. And roll the ankles a few times to the right, a few times to the left. And then drop the feet down, take a happy baby pose. And grasp on with your little peace fingers on the big toes, or the outsides of the feet, or the thighs. And then notice the shoulders. Notice we're kind of scrunching up with the shoulders. Let the shoulders drop down. Let them be nice and heavy. Pull those feet together. Roll the hands down the back of the legs. And then, maybe just take a couple of rocks and sit up. And here we are. That breath meditation, really, I just can't believe how amazing it is when you're feeling just a little chaotic, how great it is to remind yourself that we have that. And wherever you're at, just come back to that. It changes everything. So let's just find ourselves seated. You can use a bolster underneath you if you want to, or you can stay seated on the mat. But let's just begin just rolling our shoulders wherever we're at. So just bring them up and back. We'll probably, for the 3rd week in a row, repeat serpent pose again today, because it's just, to me, it really gets into that shoulder neck trap area that I feel like the technology, and I don't know, maybe Maybe you guys are better than I am, but I seem to be on tech way too much. And I think that it really just gets the neck tired. So just drop the shoulders down, drop the shoulders down. Let's go ahead and drop that right ear over towards the right shoulder. Just immediately do that. And just pause, let the left shoulder feel nice and heavy. Let the left shoulder feel nice and heavy. Just take a couple yeses, maybe, if that feels okay. And then I'm going to take that left hand and I'm going to walk it behind me. Push that left shoulder back a little bit. So this exercise right here, if you can remember, when you're sitting on a chair, this feels great, but you grasp onto the underneath of the chair. If you're just sitting working, it's amazing. And you push that shoulder back. So walk the hand forward. Let's go ahead and bring the neck up, the head up, and drop it over towards the left. This is my troublesome side, I should say. A couple little nods. I need to visit Catherine, the incredible chiropractor, at some point here. A couple of nice little nods. And I'm going to bring my hand down, trot those fingers back, push that shoulder back, really get into the neck area there, as long as it feels okay. Nice big stretch. Walk those fingers forward. Let's bring the head back up for a moment. Just drop the chin down towards the chest and push the shoulders back a little bit. Sit up nice and tall so the chest lifts. Just feel long through the spine. Lift up. Let's gaze up towards the sky. Lift back up and then just roll the neck a few times. Let's just roll it out. A couple of half rolls. If you find that sweet spot that you just kind of want to hang out in for a moment, go ahead and stay with it. See what feels good to you. Right there. It's just quite the spot these days. Take it all the way around if it feels okay. Go real gentle. Make sure it feels okay. Come back to just a neutral neck when you're ready. Take your time. Take as much neck rolling time as you would like. Just breathe. And I'm going to lift these arms up. I'm going to lift them up and gaze up towards the hands. And take our twist. Roll the right shoulder up and back. Use my thighs, a little bit of leverage here. Push those gecko fingers into the floor. Really lift up tall. Excuse me. Lift up tall with the spine here. Lift up nice and tall so you're really feeling that twist coming. And then go ahead, unwind it. Plant the hand, get our side body stretch coming. It's just one of my favorite poses. For years, I had done the twist and hadn't included this, and I went to somebody's class and they had this. I was like, a simple little thing to add on and just glorious. So I think. And lift the hands. Let's take it to the other side. Roll the shoulder up and back. Gaze behind us. Breathe. Gently unwind ourselves. Plant the right hand, lift with the left. Then go ahead and float it back down when you're ready. Take your time. Maybe just a couple more rolls with the shoulders. And let's reach the legs out for a moment. Just kind of shake things out a little bit with the legs. Just shake them out. And I lift up a little bit with the cushion here. So I'm getting right on the sit bones. You can feel free to sit on a cushion if you'd like, but I'm going to take the left leg and pull it in and just keep that right leg out in front of me. If you have a strap here, you can use it. Otherwise, just a nice lift through the body, lift through the heart. Gaze straight out in front of us. So rather than rounding right now, let's gaze forward so we can really get some nice length through the back of the leg. And just take a forward fold, just concentrating on that right leg for right now. Gaze out towards those toes. Take a breath, staring at the toes. Exhale, take the gaze down towards the knee. If you need to back off from it a little bit, if it made the stretch a little too intense, just go ahead and back off, your choice. One more breath, exhale, just really feel yourself melting. Now tuck the chin and we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Really kind of get an extra little stretch through that upper back and neck there. Change it up when you're ready. So when you're ready, we'll extend the left leg out and tuck that right leg in. Nice lift through the heart, lift through the belly. Exhale, staring straight out in front of us. Take the gaze just to the toes. Feel that length coming through the back of the left leg. Breathe. One more nice big breath. Take the gaze down to the knee. One more nice big breath. Melt, just let it go. Tuck the chin. When you're ready, slowly begin to roll back up, sit back up. Make sure it's not too intense on the spine. You can always bring the chin up if you need to. And we're up. Just tuck both feet together just for a moment into Baddha Konasana. So bound angle is what that means. When I say Supta, it's the laying down version. So I like to just take my fingers and put them inside the arches of my feet, kind of like I'm getting ready to open up a book. Roll the shoulders up and back, sit up nice and tall. Should be getting to feel a stretch, not just through the leg area, but even through the shoulders, through the heart, and through the chest. Take a nice big breath. Exhale, let it go. And then let's release that. Let's come up onto the hands and knees and make our way into our ever so wonderful table pose. And just begin to make some cat cows. Some cat cow movements, lift and round. Just move at your own pace. Maybe if it feels good to pause on a lift or on a round, just stay there for a moment. Just use the breath as your guide. On this round, I'm going to sink all the way back into child's pose. Just kind of tuck the chin even and just slowly go back into child's pose. Get some nice opening through that upper back, through the neck. And let the forehead come down onto the mat. Your choice. Hands can stay forward or they can come back beside you and let the palms just be up towards the sky. Just take a breath. As you let it go, sink the hips down a little bit deeper. One more nice big breath in. Feel it moving into the upper back, opening up through the shoulder blades. Exhale, let it go. And then I'm going to walk my hands forward. Walk the hands forward. I'll lift the shoulders up. Really kind of pull let the fingers kind of walk on the mat and pull the whole body forward. So the chest is going to stay low to the mat. Just pull the whole body forward and transition into a puppy dog pose or a heart chakra opening pose. So the forehead can stay on the earth, the chest can stay on the earth, but the hips begin to lift. Let the shoulders get nice and heavy here. Feel that opening up through the back body. And then I'm going to keep my elbows on the earth, lift up with the chest. And transition all the way down onto the belly. Scooch the legs back a little bit. And as promised, we're going to do serpent pose because it just feels really good sometimes. It was 2 a.m. I really wanted to get up and do this pose. So yeah, that just tells you how excited I am about it. So fingers underneath the elbows. Begin to lift through the chest. And then just begin to dip one shoulder at a time. Nice dip. One shoulder at a time. Maybe a little lift. You can get the neck involved if you'd like to. Move things out a little bit. We roll it out. And then just go ahead and bring yourself down. Let's reach we'll begin with just keep the right hand in your gecko position. Reach the left hand out. Roll up onto the side. So your shoulder gets a real nice opening here. There's another way we can do this against the wall that we'll kind of work on next time. It's a fun filled variation. A nice stretch here, and then belly, transition back down. Let's change sides. So reach out with that right hand, push the left one into the earth. Should be able to get a nice stretch through the shoulder here. Maybe gaze up towards the sky, even if that feels a little bit better. Just see what feels good for you here. And bring it back on down. Pull it in. If you want to do a little serpent one more time, just kind of move that out. Feel free to. And then roll the shoulders up and back. Let's transition into Sphinx pose. So hands out in front of us, elbows there. Full breath. Exhale, let it go. I'm going to slide the hands back so that my hands are underneath my shoulders or even behind just a little bit. Elbows are tucked in. Roll the shoulders up and back. Nice lift. Engage in the belly here and make a lift into a baby cobra. Go ahead and bring it down. Your choice, either one more time with baby cobra, or if it feels good, roll, lift all the way up, pushing the feet into the earth, pushing the hands into the earth, into upward facing dog. And then even if you're in cobra or upward facing dog, let's go ahead and push back into table. So push back into table. Your choice. And stay right here in table. Or you can tuck the toes, push into the palms and the fingertips, downward facing dog. And walk your dog out for a moment. Shake the neck out. So for those that were, hello, P Bear. Yoga with you? Absolutely. Come on down. We're doing down dog. You love down dog. So just kind of. Yes, you can. Just walk your dog out and then let's bring our dog down. Nice, Poppy. That looks great. That looks great. So just bring it back down into the table and let's just kind of come back for a moment. We'll lift up, just stay onto the knees. Let's give our wrist a little stretch. Just a little bit of love for the wrist. Yeah, nice work, baby bear. All right, roll those guys out a little bit, make a couple of fists. Let's transition back into table. Shh, Petey, it's okay. It's okay.
I can do it.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can do anything, Poppy. Let's take our hips and just roll them in a few circles. Roll the hips in a few circles. Couple directions. Change whichever way you'd like. And then again.
I'm sorry, Mommy. I have to go. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. I love you. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye, honey. Have a great day. Okay. Go ahead and check the toes. Downward facing dog one more time. Shake out the head. So we're talking about the neck, and just sometimes this is an inversion technically, and it's just a really great way to just take some of that tension off the neck if you have it. Shake it out. I take my feet and walk it all the way up to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Grasp onto opposite elbows. Let it go. Let the hands go. Shake it all out. Little bend into the knees. Rise all the way up. All the way up. Lift the hands, lift the gaze. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. I want to just show you something really quick that you can do. So let's say there's a lot of benefits to downward facing dog, but let's say you're on a long car ride. Carol, you and I had talked about this, or just don't have the ability to get into a full downward facing dog. A supported downward facing dog, you can always use a couch or a piece of furniture or the window seal of your car and get the same exact feeling, or a very similar one. It's actually quite wonderful, into a supported downward facing dog. So just something to do throughout the day. It's a really, really nice way to, does that feel good? Highly recommend it. Yeah, if you're sitting a lot or whatever, however your day looks, or driving, hop out of the car, do that, make sure you're in a safe area. And yeah, it's a really, really nice way to kind of break things up a little bit. So all right, so from a standing posture, let's go ahead, let's just flow through a couple of sun salutations. So lift the hands, lift the gaze, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Let's really connect the breath with movement this morning on this. Inhale, hands to the shins, kind of push the shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. Move at your own pace. Inhale, lift, exhale, hands to heart center. Just do exactly that, just at your own pace. Just let the breath be your guide here. This is another wonderful practice to do in the morning or whenever throughout your day. Just connecting that breath to movement. That really is what Hatha Yoga is about. Lifting, exhaling. One more. Breathe in. Nice big lift. And then just bring the hands back to heart center and just pause here. Let's take 3 breaths in our mountain pose. And then let's lift the hands up towards the sky. Breathe in, interlace the fingers, let the pointer finger come out, mudra. Lift up the hands nice and high. Let's take our tilt over towards the right. Pause. Maybe a little deeper. Let the gravity kind of do its work. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale over towards the left. Pause here for a breath. Back through center. Let the head drop back, gaze up, breathe in. Exhale. One more breath. And bring it back up to neutral. Let's go ahead and immediately just take another forward fold. Dive on down. Dive on down. Walk the feet apart. I'm going to go wider than hips width distance apart. I'm going to put them about, I'd say about 3 feet apart from one another. And keep that left hand down. Lift up with the right hand. Lift up with the right hand. Gaze up towards the right hand. Go ahead and float it on down. Opposite side. Nice big lift. Bring it on down. Both hands onto the mat. Maybe even walk the feet apart just a little bit further. Let that head drop down. Let it go. Just pause here. Just pause here and breathe. This nice forward fold. Just keep the hands on the earth. Just keep it supported this morning. One nice big full breath. Exhale, let it go. We'll heel toe the feet back together. Back together. Just slowly but surely. And then arrive in that forward fold. A little bend into the knees. Rise all the way up. Breathe in. And exhale. Hands to heart center. Okay, so we're going to transition your choice, either going into the Pete's pigeon or the classical pigeon, or transitioning into the reclined pigeon. So if we're going into Pete's pigeon, let's all actually just float just into a position that we can get into either. So lift the hands, lift the gaze, breathe in through a sun salutation, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the shins. Exhale, fold. Let's step back. We're going to make our way into downward facing dog. So your choice here, if you want to go into the reclined position, go ahead and just come down onto the knees and make your way onto the back body. If you would like to do the classical variation of our half pigeon, lift that right leg up to the sky. Let's begin here, just lifting it up. Bring the right knee to that right wrist. Scooch back with the left foot. Take a nice lift through the heart. Breathe. Exhale, fold it down. And if you're on the back body, I think everybody knows their movements on this one, but we'd just be crossing that right leg over and reaching through and grasping onto the back of the left. So your choice, wherever you would like to be with that. Just enjoy it. Just breathe. Come back to that breath. Come back to the breath. Just watch the breath. Be here now. Let's tuck the left toe, lift up with the left knee. Lift up with the left knee. Plant the hands onto the earth. Plant the hands onto the earth. Nice tuck with that left toe. And I'm going to send my right foot back up towards the sky and stack the hip. Maybe roll it once or twice. So if you are in the crossover version, just bring the feet down to the earth and just windshield wiper the knees out. So opposite side, if you're on the reclined position, Just go ahead and cross that opposite foot. If you are following me, lift up with the left. Let's bring that left knee towards the left wrist. Go ahead, square off with the hips, nice and square. Scooch back maybe a little bit with that right knee. Bring the elbows down to the earth. Just let yourself go. If you're on the opposite side, or the recline, just make your way into that left foot crossed over variation. Wherever you're at, breathe. Even if you've, at some point, sometimes in the practice, even if you just don't feel like making any of the movements, just laying on the back body or being wherever and just breathing is all you need to do. And then go ahead. We'll plant the hands. Plant the hands, begin to lift up. Tuck through that right toe. If you're on the reclined variation, just bring the feet down and begin to windshield wiper them. I'm going to lift up with my left knee, or lift up with the right knee and lift up with the left foot. Stack it, move it a couple of times. Feels so good. Shake the head up, do whatever needs to happen. And bring the knees down onto the earth. Feels so good sometimes, doesn't it? All right. And then just come onto the back body wherever you're at. Roll into a little ball. Pull those knees in. Make my way into a happy baby pose again. Maybe just move it out a little bit. See what feels good for you. And then your choice. You can either walk the feet to the opposite parts on the mat and just let the knees fall in towards one another. Or again, we'll revisit Supta Baddha Konasana and let the soles of the feet come together. And just breathe. Just breathe. When you're ready, you can move the legs out into your position with Shavasana. If there's any posture that the body is just really wanting to do this morning, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, take your time, get comfortable, make your way into your final posture, your Savasana. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth once you arrive here. Let the breath just return to a normal pace. So let that Ujjayi Pranayama breath go if you have been continuing that. Just be comfortable. Let the body absorb the benefits of the practice. Just allow yourself to completely be here for several minutes, just in peace. And I will leave you in Shavasana this morning. Thank you so much for joining. It's always wonderful to see everybody. Have a beautiful weekend. Be happy, be healthy, be free. Namaste.